It's race day here at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, track that's certainly seen a fair share of electrifying races over the past few years, and there are no doubts that today's race will be just as brilliant. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and the popular opinion in the paddock is that we never wanted the chicane in the first place. That's now been gone, the final corner is much faster, and at 2.9 miles and 14 turns, we await the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Perez, Sainz, Ricciardo, Russell, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Albon, Gasly, Magnussen, Sargent, Hülkenberg, Joe, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me in the commentary box today, former racing driver herself, Naomi Schiff. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
It is certainly an interesting time in this set of regulations because, as you know, when a new set of regulations come out, everything changes and you always wonder who's got it right. Well, we know the Red Bull are the ones who really got it right the last couple of years. But now you can see the rest of the grid slowly start to catch up, and there's really only so much left for Red Bull to get out of these regulations. So it is interesting, and the pack are catching up.
Right, mate, I know it's hot in that cockpit, believe me, but your tyres are even hotter than that. You've got to work really hard today to keep them cool, otherwise we're going to suffer with our performance. Right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap, please. We're learning the gears, so let's go through them all if you can. No rainfall expected today. We think it'll stay dry. Okay, incredible parking there. Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient and watch for those lights. We can now use DRS. DRS now available. You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Okay, gap ahead, 1.8 seconds. In this lap, push now. Piastri's just moved up into first place. Okay, gap to the car in front, 2.7 seconds. Fourth position, you're in fourth position. It's Verstappen ahead. Okay, they're on old softs. That's Charles behind. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old softs. The distance to the leader, 6.4 seconds. Your pit window is open, pit window currently open. And 11 laps to go. Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach. Okay, go, go, go! That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting. Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres. Bottas is ahead of you now. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap, 1:19.9. Charles is in the pits. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 3.5 seconds. Car ahead's coming to fit the mediums. Car ahead now running medium tyres. So your ERS is running a bit low. Look into changing your ERS mode in the MFD for a more conservative burn rate, or you might want to try some lifting or gentle braking to recharge. Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place. Right, the gap to the teammate ahead of us, 4.3 seconds. We're currently sat in 6th. That's Russell just ahead. Push for the position. They're on fresh mediums. Perez is behind you. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, so gap to the leader, 15.9 seconds. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 4.8 seconds. Try to stay with them. They might make a mistake and we could still regain the position. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 8.5 seconds. Final lap, push, push.
Checkered flag.
Okay. Yeah. I think it was progress. A bit of progress, but still some time to find. Let's keep pushing.
And here he comes. It's all go, go, go for Lando Norris as he takes the checkered flag and wins.
There was never a moment of doubt today. You could tell that they completely had it under control, and that is a sign of greatness.
As the winners make their way up to the podium, one can only imagine the celebrations that will take place at McLaren tonight. Congratulations to everyone on the team, securing the win and proving that they're a force to be reckoned with out on the track. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.